You're listening to Real Radio, the nationally trusted name in real estate investing. We dig deep to discover investors' why in real estate. If you want to skip all the BS and get in investors' heads, you're in the right spot. Be one of the thousands to check out realradio.com. Welcome to Real Radio. This is the Real Estate Rundown with Owen, Dashner, and Kaasch. I think it's your funnest part now.
I look at your face and I'm happy that it's less hairy than it has been in the last month. And you got all the orange out. That's pretty impressive, but it looks like some gray has crept in to replace the orange.
It's been creeping in for a long time, buddy. Long time.
So what? Okay, why do you put so much effort into growing out your facial hair, and why paint it orange this week?
It just looks so appropriate.
Why is that?
I mean, it's just the funnest day, and
we're talking, of course, about St. Patrick's Day, which this will air another week after. But tell us about your Monday this week. That was St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, so I got up 4:30, went to the gym, and then got home, opened up a Guinness. We met Martin McGuire at his dad's house. We had a drink. I had a couple shots, I should say, and then started our rotation. And about 17 shots later, my wife picked me up and drove me home, and then we ate some more corned beef and cabbage at home with the kids.
Do you envision doing this until you're like 90?
There is 90-year-olds out there doing this.
Did you drag your grandma out? That would have been fun seeing Oma out there.
My mom comes out with us usually.
Yeah.
And she was showing some of the properties that we have. So it did not happen. But if my grandma would come out, I'd be super excited.
Ted is the oldest 21-year-old out there. 44, but he acts like he's 21 every year.
My voice is still in recovery mode.
You got the gruff post St. Patty's Day.
Well, I like to get the whole bar saying Happy St. Patrick's Day to bring everybody together in unity.
I did catch a Facebook Live from Nate Eccles,
yeah,
who witnessed some of your shenanigans at one of these bars. We were standing on a bar stool, and I didn't have the sound on because I was afraid I was going to blow my phone speaker. What were you doing?
Well, I just got everybody together, and then I was like, on 3, we're all going to say Happy St. Patrick's Day together.
Did it work?
Yeah, I mean, it worked over and over and over again throughout the whole day at every spot.
You are so weird.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why my voice is gone, because we do that like 20, 30 times.
Speaking of weird, man, this is a hard pivot into something that happened to me this week. So had this property that I bought, apartment complex, and it had some existing tenants in there for I've owned it for probably 4 years, and one of them was just a problem the whole time. I mean, he'd be late and then pay, and then always had excuses, and then he's just a weird dude, just real reclusive, probably some mental health issues and so forth. But he'd be combative at times and just not cooperative if we needed to get into the apartment, stuff like that, right? Just annoying.
Yeah.
And
your favorite tenant.
Yeah, exactly. And so my property manager ended up, filing an eviction on him because he was 2 or 3 months behind or something like that, and just wasn't showing any indication that he was willing to, work with us. And so long story short, he ended up going to eviction court, getting evicted. And then what happened was he was supposed to have everything out. And this was one where the actual cops had to come and, witness you changing the locks and all that. I mean, it sucks for everybody, including the tenant. But so he ends up coming back and got into the lobby, and he's just chilling there on the couch.
Oh, I got this text message
in the lobby.
Yes.
And my property manager's like, "Hey man, I have to go down to the apartment." And I'm like, what's going on? He's like, "Well, that guy we just evicted is just hanging out in the lobby, and he's like calling tenants like awful names that are walking by, including like little kids and stuff." I mean, he's just what
would you do in that situation if you were walking with your daughters?
Well, it may have gone differently. Let's put it that way.
Right?
If you bring my family into the mix, it's probably not going to go well.
Yeah.
So it could have been escalated to a point where people got hurt or worse. So anyway, we have to end up calling the cops and filing a ban in bar, so he can't, no trespassing and all that stuff. But that's the difficulty. And then it's when you evict somebody like that, then your whole, access to the building, you have to, change it and rekey, or, if you have electronic locks and all that, it's just a whole thing. It's just, I don't know, man. You just can't take the people element out. You never know how they're going to react when they're under stress. But like lashing out at innocent people and their kids is just unacceptable. So anyway, my property manager goes there, and after he told me that the guy spent 45 minutes while he's there with him calling random people that he went to high school with to try and find somebody that could go give him a ride that he hadn't talked to in like 40 years. This is what my property manager, this is a long text he sent me.
Yeah.
And he's like, finally, I ended up getting him a lift to take him down to the shelter or whatever. So it was just, it sucks. You hate hearing that. But at the same time, it's like, man, this is a safety issue and just not a good look.
Did he get booted for non-payment or
yeah, non-payment? Yeah.
That's tough. I dealt with my fund. I sent you a video of this, but we had an Airbnb tenant, and everything was just a little weird. So it gets booked. We'll call him D. Books the place, and then all of a sudden I get a random phone call from a random phone number, and she's like, "Yeah, I need the code for the place," and I'm like, "Yeah, well, you need to be added as a guest." And I'm sure most people just give that up because I never get a phone call.
Right.
And so I'm like, yeah, they add you as a guest, and then your code is in your Airbnb Messenger app. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll do that then. And then all of a sudden she gets added on.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, well, that seems legit now, right? But it was just a little weird. So I went ahead and just like background checked it with using the Forewarn app.
I love that app.
It was like 68 criminal violations.
On this gal.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was like 58 grams of meth or greater, DUI, this. So now I'm like, I got Chris working outside on fixing the fence. And I go, hey, watch that lady when she comes in and tell me. He's like, man, she was really good looking. She got 2 kids.
You're looking at the wrong thing, man.
And I go, and was there a dude that came? Because the dude booked the place. And he's like, yeah, dude did show up. He looked rough, man. He had the neck tattoos and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna watch this one. Obviously, and they sent a screenshot of the guy that booked it to. He's like, yo, that definitely wasn't him. So I'm like, and it was just a 3 or 4 day booking, right?
Yeah.
They completely They break a window out. They leave all their stuff. They leave all their food. The refrigerator's wide open.
The door to the apartment was open. Isn't that what you said?
Leave the front door open. And so here I am. Before I know about any of this happening, it's like I go to the gym. And it's the day of the big blizzard here, right? So you don't know if you're not from Omaha, we had the biggest blizzard we probably had in a couple of years here. And I'm like, okay, that thing is just starting, and all my security cameras are out. And I'm like, what is going on? So I need to get down there and do a quick reset of the modem, see what's going on. So I go down there, the whole building power is off, but everybody else has power. And I'm like,
on the street,
yeah,
everybody, yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, this is weird. So I go look at the box; it's wide open. And
the electrical panel. Yeah.
And the main power breaker, the 250 breaker to the whole building's off. And I'm like, that is weird. Somebody deliberately turned this off.
Yeah. So
I turned it back on. Everything's working great. And I go, and then we have a quick turnaround today, and the cleaner showed up, and they're like, the door's wide open. And and I'm like looking at the lock codes, I'm looking at the times, and it all matches. The power went out at like 12:55. The doors, I have electronic locks, so I can see the doors being opened. It looks like they turned the power off to the whole building to avoid the security cameras to leave.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is weird. And then we get into the unit, and it's like, oh yeah, got about $1,000 in damage to the place, with sheet replacements, extra cleaning bills, replacing a window, and so on. So I messaged the app, and this Dave guy responds. And he's like, hey man, I'm so sorry. Just bill me for whatever I owe you. I'm just sitting here, and I'm after looking at this lady's criminal history now.
Yeah.
There's fraud all up in there. Recent. I'm like, I guarantee you that she stole this guy's identity, or she's playing this guy
right
to pay for her.
Yep.
It was super weird.
Man, the brain power that people put behind doing bad things just never ceases to amaze me. It's like you're smart enough to figure out all these end arounds on just to scam somebody out of a couple $100. Why don't you just apply that to legit stuff and do well? I don't know, man. People suck.
I think that something happens in somebody's life, and they feel like that scar on their history will prevent them from moving forward,
being legitimate. Yeah.
And I've had these conversations so often with just people from my past or people I know currently. And I'm like, don't let your past determine your future. We can think about the worst people in our lives, the people that really screwed us over. But there is a path, and it doesn't happen overnight.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're consistent and you show, remorse, you apologize to the people you did wrong, and you try to do best to make those right.
Mm-hmm.
And then you there to help, and you get back to your community. You can right the ship.
Mm-hmm.
You can make it right.
It all comes down to mindset too, and also the people that you surround yourself with. I think I see this a lot with contractors I've worked with. They may be like, they do great work, but they always have issues. Maybe it's drugs. Maybe it's they just can't seem to find the right type of person, a significant other, because they always mess around with troubled relationships.
Yeah.
And then it always leads down the wrong path, right? I've had this happen multiple times. So have you.
Yep.
It's funny. Kim Stevens just popped in here, and we love Kim. She works in the office where we have our podcast studio, and this is somewhat related, but a little bit of a stretch. We were talking about if you leave your W-2 and you're like, okay, I'm going to be a business owner, or I'm going to be a real estate investor full time. The nice thing is you have a lot more freedom of schedule, so you can go on vacations. And I was talking about when I have gone on vacations, like shortly after I left my W-2, I was like, okay, finally I can go on vacation and relax and not have to worry. But yet you can't turn your phone off. I mean, you're still going to get texts and phone calls. And what I used to get super annoyed, like, oh, my phone rang, or like, I just get
Don't
mad.
you know I'm on vacation?
Yeah, don't you know I'm on vacation? You can't turn an out of office reply. Nobody gives a shit
Yeah.
if you're a business owner, right? They're like, okay, boo-hoo. So we were talking about that, and like, and I would always, my wife would get annoyed if I had to take a call while we're trying to do something on vacation. But I finally got to a point where I just said, you know what? I have the opportunity to go on vacation literally almost whenever I want. Woe is me. I have to take a phone call and answer some texts. Big deal. We still get to go on a vacation. And as long as we go into it with the expectation that I'm going to have to work a little bit, not much, I'm going to try and minimize it. And that was just a mindset shift for me, where I'm not constantly annoyed whenever I have, something happen on vacation. So I think it's just a mindset thing. And I think back to your point about, kind of going down the wrong path initially, and then people feel like that's the direction they have to stay on their whole life. It's not. It's just a mindset shift and taking little steps to start adding the right people in your life to give you positive reinforcement instead of just always gravitating toward doing the bad stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I've been working with Jason Dries on the coaching.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we were doing a group call, and I always try to take like one thing that really sticks out to me. So I'm writing my notes, and then that one thing pops up, and I just underline it over and over again. And I loved it so much that I actually got on my chat GPT and had it make me a graphic.
Your best friend.
So I can put it on the back of my phone.
Oh yeah. What is it? Pop it up again. You showed me that yesterday.
Yeah. So now everything's going here. So I'm trying to. So it says, you are one new client away from changing your life.
Yeah, I love that, and I think you can say you're one new person or one new connection from changing your life, and I wholeheartedly believe that.
So and he was giving some examples of people that were going through that, and the people in the group were talking about that too. He's like, it's all about mindset. You need to change your way you look at things, change who you are, start putting it out in the world, and it's going to come back to you. And I got done with that meeting, right? Mm-hmm. My real estate side of the business has been really slow lately, but I also haven't put a huge focus on it, right?
Yep.
And when I talk about that, guys, I'm talking about like being a realtor and working as an investment real estate agent, or helping somebody find a house. Well, within 1 hour, I get a phone call from Lamond.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, man, I just did a flip. I want you to list it.
Okay.
And then I get a phone call from, he doesn't want his name mentioned, but from a guy we talked about. Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah, I got 3 properties.
Yep.
A commercial, a huge single family, another single family. Find me a buyer for all 3 of these. And they're all like on the same street. And so I went and walked those properties. And so I got those leads. You called me about checking on a multifamily and getting some details on it.
Yeah, just randomly.
And I'm like, man, the Lord's really shining on me right now. I'm like here it comes, baby.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, again, you're just one person away. And I've been trying to change like what I do. Like I'm trying to be a little bit more vocal, not necessarily in front of like our RIA group, but more vocal on my real estate page. And, I met with Jason, and he's like, I think I mentioned this before, but he looked at my year goals. He's like, hey, dude, this is 90-day goals. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? If I stop being lazy, this is a 90-day goal, And so I've been breaking down like, what I want to do. Like, hey, this week I'm focusing on what was my 1-year goal.
Yeah.
This week I was just working on my CRM. Mm-hmm. So I brought up all my old client lists.
Good. Yeah.
Put them up on a sheet. I'm starting to like go through that process of reaching out to them, just seeing what they're still looking for. But just that process, I'm stirring up the pot again, bringing that business out. But none of this was because of that.
Yeah. It's funny that action can cancel out your procrastination and your lack of motivation a lot of times. Just taking action, even if you don't feel like it. And you can kind of will your way out of putting things off and, not getting things done and in your mindset. Right. So I think, that's great. So you and I talked yesterday for a couple hours about the multifamily event that we're looking at putting together in the Omaha, Nebraska area. So we spent quite a bit of time, dug into that, got some plans.
I just enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah, it was good.
My wife wasn't too happy when I showed up at 5:45, and she's like, Carson has to be at football at 6.
Yeah, so you scream in the garage and then pull right back out.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And I was trying to kiss the butt, so I came right back and then took Skylar to gymnastics, dropped her off, and then went back. So I'm like, babe, look at all this extra stuff I'm doing.
Sorry, man. But no, that was a great meeting. So for those of you listening or watching, we are putting together a multifamily, specifically multifamily, how to find it, how to underwrite deals, how to put, financing together, all the stuff you need to know to make the move from smaller single family and move into the small and mid-sized stuff.
Yeah. And I think that a lot of people feel very comfortable looking at anything that's from, 4 units all the way up to 20 units. So we're going to talk about multifamilies in general and everything that you need around that. Mm-hmm. But we're going to really hone in specifically for those people that are doing that transition into the small multi, back a napkin type of breakdowns and try to figure out does this make sense.
Yeah So it'll be great. We're looking at maybe some really well-known local speakers, and then also we're kicking around the possibility of bringing in some big names.
At least one big name to bring it in and try, give us some marketing.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. We'll provide you some more details on the logistics and timing of it, but keep that on your radar. That'll be one you don't want to miss.
So just so you guys know, a big goal here in a perfect world, if we had the people to help us too, we would be doing something like this eventually, more often, 2-3 of these a year, and then get really comfortable so that we can get something bigger together, like a 2 or 3 day event, something that really will put Midwest on the map. And I think that we're the right people to do it.
Yeah, it'll be kind of a boot camp, and then hopefully it'll lead to more often and bigger events that get a lot more in depth, and that's kind of the goal.
Stay tuned to this, because when we announce it, the tickets will be limited. It will be 200 or less. So you definitely don't want to wait on this.
Yeah. Speaking of multifamily, I do want to give a plug, if that's all right here. I've got a
plug away.
I have a little networking group. I've mentioned it before, Caffeine and Cap Rates. It is every Thursday, every week at 10 a.m. at Sozo Coffee in downtown Omaha, 1314 Jones Street. And yesterday we spent, it flew by, but that deal that I messaged you about, it was a 42 unit multifamily deal in Bellevue, Nebraska, and we did a complete breakdown of the underwriting of that. What it is now, what are the opportunities, what are the things that are bad, what are good, and just broke everything down on it. I felt like it was a really useful exercise to go through. And we had some experienced people and some newbies in the group that I think everybody learned something, including myself.
I don't think you'd ever do this, but it'd be really cool if you would just throw up an iPad or something and just live stream that for the people that can't make it, that can watch it later.
Yeah, I could do that.
So if you
I think you're my guy for that.
Yeah, I can help you with that.
you were hoping I didn't follow up that comment.
You can call Dennis and then have real camera there and then create your shorts for your page.
All right.
I know you've been wanting content.
You're wanting to Ted Kaasch this thing. Okay, so this is a good lead in into today's Golden Nugget.
And this Golden Nugget is brought to you by JM Real Estate Capital.
Hi, it's Rob, JM Real Estate Capital. We're the money guys that you need to know for all your real estate investments. Talk to us. We can do what your local bank can't or won't do. We don't have millions, we have trillions with a T to lend. 844 we close, or go online, jmrecapital.com. That's jmrecapital.com. JM Real Estate Capital, smart solutions for the real estate investor.
Today's Golden Nugget. I found this kind of cool app that I had never used before. I had heard about it, but I'd never downloaded it. It's free. It's called Deal Check. And it is a really useful kind of back of the napkin underwriting tool. So it has a function where you can calculate BRRRRs, straight rental property purchases, flips, and wholesales. And it's slick because...
How much is it?
It's free. You just download it, Deal Check, and you can plug in all of your underwriting stuff, property taxes, gross rents, all of that, and it'll spit out a calculation, your financing package that you're going to put into it. It's good. For what I've seen out there, I haven't seen anything better that's free.
Okay, so how are they making money on this?
I don't know. They're probably going to have some type of new release paid version, I guess, at some point.
Or they're stealing all your data.
That could also be. It's probably Temu.
Really? No, I guarantee you.
It's TikTok. Yeah.
Okay, tell me this isn't a great idea. You own Deal Check.
Uh-huh.
Every time somebody's putting in their content, you have the full breakdown of every property, and then you're going to go chase after it as a
sniper
company.
Style. Yeah, nice.
You're like giving them the leads.
Yeah. Hey, I can't. That might be the motivation behind creating that app. But anyway, check it out. It's pretty slick. I plugged in that multifamily property I was just talking about, did kind of a quick underwrite on it, and it works really well for what it is. It's hard to do a full underwrite on your phone, I find. I mean, I'm kind of old school too because I have a PC, but I like to usually plug it into a spreadsheet and do all that. Or, Bigger Pockets has a nice, they've got some nice deal calculators on there too. So if you're desktop, that's a good route to go, but you have to click through a bunch of screens. That's what I like about Deal Check is just it's pretty user friendly, good user interface. Anyway, check it out.
Interesting. Guess what I did yesterday?
What?
I bought my first stock.
What?
Yeah.
Ever?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we invest.
You had 401k before, but
yeah, and we invest, with Arkfeld.
Okay.
Wealth, for the kids stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, my first personal get the app.
What'd you get?
Well, Tesla's just on this major decline.
You're buying the dip?
And so I bought into the dip. I'm like, it's the number one selling car in the world.
Well, if they keep destroying all of them, like I'm seeing on the news, that's going to be a scarcity. So maybe the value will go up.
I mean,
it's crazy what's happening out there now.
I'm watching the thing drop, and I'm like, this is going to turn.
Yeah,
like it's too big to break, and he's got the money to keep it going. I'm like, this is going to pop back up.
Man, the equities markets have been insane the last few months with all the tariff talk and economic uncertainty and everything. The equities market has just been like cratering, along with Bitcoin and a lot of the alternative stuff. Although gold is now over $3,000 an ounce.
Do you have some of that?
I do. Yeah, and I started buying silver and gold like several years ago. In fact, during the great financial crisis, I was buying physical gold, little grams of gold and all that. And I just held on to it.
I don't understand. I mentally just can't get around buying stock of gold versus buying actual gold.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I know, because you're talking about, there's index funds out there where you can basically buy. So $3,000 an ounce, that I don't know what that particular index fund is trading at, but you can buy shares of stock exchange, that are supposed to be precious metals. I don't understand it either. It's like they make everything into a financial instrument. Everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a buddy, and he's got more money he knows what to do with, and he now has multiple safes. And he's got his gold safe, he's got his silver safe, and then I think he's got platinum.
Okay. Oh yeah, platinum's that's like the high ticket item.
Okay.
I have probably more silver than gold, and I don't have any platinum, but I have a lot of the. I started buying these coins that they make. I love Marvel, I love the Marvel universe. So I have a dollar, 100% silver, Incredible Hulk. I've got Thor. I've got, Deadpool, of course, and Wolverine and all those. So I have the whole Marvel thing. Yeah. I have a whole bunch of those. And I got stuff from China, Indonesia. I was buying all these. I kind of went down the rabbit hole. I do that sometimes. But I have a buddy of mine, Kevin, who he has a lot. He is hooked. We went on a golf trip to St. George, Utah, and he noticed that there, by our hotel or our Airbnb, there was a gold store, and he's like, "Hey guys, you mind if I run over there?" He's like a drug addict with this. I'm like, "You got a problem, man." But he's going over, he's carrying these bags full of silver and gold. I'm like, "What is wrong with you?"
You got to take that in the plane.
But he would send me these pictures. He's like, "Hey, have you seen this?" And he introduced me to this group that there's an app or an app on your phone you can download called Telegram.
Yeah.
And it has just random groups in it. It's just a text thread with people that like what you like. Yeah. And there's one for gold bugs and silver.
I have Telegram. I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's just, I can't remember what it was called. It was I'm going to get it wrong, but it's basically hedging against inflation group or something like that. And it's all silver and gold stuff. And this is hot deals. So people were like, "Hey, I just got these, Silver Eagles in from 1908 or whatever, who wants them, and they'll be like, buy it now, buy it now, buy it now. Like, it's crazy. I mean, it is fun, I will say. And then you can look at the actual coin value versus the weight of the silver, the spot price, and all that. So I don't know. It's just fun. It's a fun hobby.
I get more spam messages on Telegram than anything else.
I do too.
And so,
or WhatsApp. I get a ton of them on WhatsApp.
You know how you like to mess with people that call you?
Yeah.
I do that with the people on Telegram. I thought you wanted to be my girlfriend. What do you mean you don't want to talk to me anymore?
Oh man,
the responses have been pretty fun on that one.
Yeah. Well, this has been a fun convo, man. Today we got the real luncheon,
Yes.
and we got to go prep for that bad boy. So
yeah, and if you like what you're hearing, please share this with somebody that would love to hear our beautiful voices. But follow us on our Instagram. We have Ria Radio Instagram. We have Kaasch Money, Kaasch Money. We have
Owen Money Real Estate.
Owen Money. I always want to say your O-Dog one.
Yeah, I have that one too.
And then also we have a great community on Facebook. We have almost 9,000 people on our Facebook page, which is Omaha REIA. And if you guys want to reach out to us, we are just a DM away from helping you, or maybe there's something that Owen or myself could partner with, and we'd love to hear what you have to present.
Storage units for Ted.
I'm looking for storage units. So with that, episode 200 is just around the corner. We're super excited.
Yeah,
that's another pinnacle
moment at Ria Radio.
Yes. I have to tell you, we'll have to talk next week about some ideas I have for a special.
Oh, geez.
It's 5 years of owning the Omaha RIA.
Nice.
And it's 200 episodes of RIA Radio. And I think we need to have a party.
Okay. I'm always down.
Yeah, let's work on it. So with that, Owen Dashner, we see us out.
On behalf of the absent Aiden Bear, RIA Radio, and Ted Kaasch, I'm Owen Dashner, and you've been listening to the
Real Estate Rundown with